I've been struggling to meditate because it feels like I'm just pretending to meditate, as if I'm playing meditation, sitting, closing my eyes, watching thoughts come and go, and thinking, what's next? This was a message that one of you guys put forward to me on my community page and said that basically that you weren't sure what was supposed to happen when you meditate. You get into this place of neutrality, this place of calm and quiet, and nothing more was really taking place, and you were wondering, is this correct? Should I be doing something else? How should I feel? What should this process of meditation look like? Is this it? And I want to kind of wind things back a bit to an experience that I've had recently, which will hopefully answer in a bit more detail the question that was put forward. Obviously, I make these videos, and I try to make 1 to 2 videos a week, and I have done for like about a year now. And what I tend to do, or what I often do, is I'll sit down and I will ask inwardly the divine, because I feel I have a very strong connection with the divine. And when I am very aligned, I can feel the answer come through. I intuitively feel it in my chest. It's not a thought, it kind of lands, and I know that it's absolutely right. It comes almost packaged with a knowing that, oh yeah, of course, this is the right thing to do. It's almost like when you've forgotten something and you remember again and it clicks and you think, oh, of course, how didn't I think of that before? So it comes packaged up with this knowing, and then I'll make the video. And on occasion, I'll sit down and I'll connect in the same way that I normally do and try to get the answer, try to ask the divine for the answer, and nothing comes. And this happened recently. And I sat down and I tried to ask for the answer, and it just didn't seem, for whatever reason, to come. And I reflected on it later on. And it was a real gift, the fact that it didn't come, because it reminded me so strongly of the fact that everything that happens is by the grace of the divine. We so easily fall into this state of mind of, I'm the one creating my reality. I'm the one creating this outcome. I'm so clever that I've achieved this or that. And we forget that nothing is achieved without the divine's okay, without the grace of the divine. And yes, we have to be the ones to aspire for something. We have to do the act of working towards that which we want to achieve. There's lots of components that we have to do ourselves in order to get what we want. But we forget that even the very basics of the fact that the air we breathe is a gift from the divine. The body we've got is a gift from the divine. This capacity to think is a gift from the divine. So when you actually dissect everything, really we do nothing ourselves. It's all God. It's all from that one source. And this little moment that I had when I sat down, tried to connect to the divine, and nothing came, and then I was sort of stumped with what to make a video about, because I was so used to not really making a video myself. I was basically, in a way, trying my best to become an instrument for the divine to work through, but for whatever reason I needed to know that, or I'd be reminded of the fact that that was the case, and that these videos that I make, I'm not making them. Some of these videos that I've made, I can assure you the words that I was speaking were not mine. There's no way. I've not got that in me. It's the divine working through me, and I mean that in the most humble way, because I'm saying that it's not me. None of it's me. So when I had this happen to me, when this situation occurred, and I came to this understanding, this realization, I was then able to reflect on my experiences in meditation. And it reminded me of the fact that, my teacher used to say very often that nothing will happen without the grace of the divine. You have to aspire, you have to sit down, you have to meditate, you have to train like you would for anything. But ultimately, these greater experiences that we all want, that many people want at least, they come when the time is ready. The divine will grace you when the time is ready, and it's not for me to say when that is or why, for why that may be, in terms of like why some people have an experience way early on than others. The only thing I can assume is that some people have done, well, everyone will have done different levels of spiritual work in their previous lives. So some people come in and they're very primed and ready and they'll have an experience very quickly. It also could be that it's just correct for them in terms of their mental state. It's what they need at that time. And for other people, they need to align themselves in different ways, or maybe it's good for them not to have an experience because for whatever reason, maybe they need to develop the virtue of patience. Maybe they need to get better at managing their mind first. It could be a multitude of reasons, but essentially, it's quite normal to get to this state in meditation where the mind is quiet, you're getting towards peace of mind, you're reaching this silence, and it feels like nothing's happening. And I want you to know that that's perfectly normal. I've had years on end where that's been the case, and I have had profound experiences now, but there were years and years and years where I was just in this place of emptiness, this silence, thinking exactly as this subscriber mentioned, what's next? What's supposed to happen? I'm sitting here. I feel like I'm doing this consistently. I feel like I've reached a decent level in terms of mental calm, mental quiet, but nothing else is occurring. And the answer to that is you just need to continue what you're doing. When the time is ready, the experiences will come. But believe me, it's the grace of the divine that makes the experiences come. When I've had profound experiences, which I've talked about on this channel, which I had one, if you're new here, I had one where I was on a retreat and I was meditating and my body started to feel like it was going invisible. I had energy just like the flick of a switch pouring around my body, and I shot out the top of my body and I was in a totally different plane, and I was traveling through different planes. And the reason that I know there were different planes is because my body was becoming more and more refined as I was moving. And it felt like I was in space, but it was more realistic than this physical reality, which doesn't make any sense until you've experienced that. But I did nothing. I got myself into meditation. I sat there, I did what I normally do, and something happened. And that something was the divine grace. That's not something we can replicate by ourselves. We can get to the skill level, or we can expand to the degree where we're now so aligned with the divine that this happens over and over again. But it is a grace of God, and obviously we are ultimately that source. So the closer we get to that, the better we are, or the more sort of consistently we can do these things. But ultimately, all we can do as human beings are the fundamentals, the basics, and have that aspiration to want to know more. That's really key. If you're getting to this place of silence and calm and quiet in your meditations, having that internal aspiration to want to understand more, to want to know more, you have to just be very careful that you couple that aspiration with an acceptance that if it doesn't come off, that's okay, because you've not got any control in whether that happens or not. That's up to the divine. So if you expect it to happen, you're going to suffer, because it likely won't happen. It will happen when you're not expecting it. So coupling this aspiration for more, this inner want to know more, with acceptance of the fact that if it doesn't, you're okay with that, that's the best combination. But in terms of delving deeper into this silence, this is something that you can do. So when you get to the place where you're nice and quiet and you've kind of rooted yourself in this like empty void like space in meditation, keep delving into that, keep feeling into the silence. As bizarre as that sounds, the sound of the silence, the feel of it, you can expand on that more and more. You'll find that as you deepen into that space, that seemingly empty space, more and more does become revealed to you. You start to understand more, you start to access more, and by virtue of the fact that you're not engaging in your mental activity so much, you're more receptive to the divine light. So it will all unfold naturally, but you have to maintain this nice equanimous state. Try not to get drawn into these feelings of boredom, or these feelings of what's going to happen next, or is this all there is to it. I can assure you that is not all there is to it. There's lots more to explore, but it will all unfold in its own time. You're doing exactly what you need to do, which is just meditate, find that silence, delve into that and continue with keep on with this inner aspiration. If you include all of those things that I've mentioned, in due course, when the time is right, I'm sure deeper experiences, more profound experiences will occur for you. But you're doing everything right with that, and I'm sure the rest of you who are watching this will resonate with this feeling of like getting to a place where you're thinking, is this it? So hopefully this video helps you today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.